Morning, and I'm Gordon, and that makes this Gordon in the Morning. Hello, everybody. I'm Gordon, and I'm here with my daily dose of inspiration and information, and maybe a little fun and humor, and a little affirmation as well. And today is Friday. That makes it Freedom Friday. I'm calling it Freedom Friday because alliteration, and why not? And I do this every morning at about 8 o'clock in the morning on, I should say, every weekday morning at 8 a.m. And part of the reason that I'm decided to do this is A, to prove to myself that I can, and to be more disciplined about my morning routine. And so one of these days I'll actually talk about my morning routine, but I think I'll leave that for another day as I get it refined. It's 2025, and I decided I'm going to do this every work day during the course of the year. Um, and I start my day with a good, off to a good start where I have to be on a little bit and can come here and talk with you. If you're watching on the show while I'm live, I'd love to say hello. So drop your note, a greeting in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay, I'd love to hear about that as well. So pop a note in there and let me know. And yeah, it's Freedom Friday. So today I thought I would talk just for a couple of minutes about the courage to be free and happy. Because Greek philosopher Thucydides, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, he said, the secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom is courage. So the courage to be free and happy. So it's sharing a timeless truth about happiness and freedom and courage. It comes from, as I said, 5th century BC historian philosopher. The secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom is courage. So as we unpack this, freedom, whether personal, political, creative, is essential for happiness. Think about a time in your own life when you felt truly free to choose your path, to express your thoughts, or to live authentically. That sense of freedom probably sparked a deep joy and fulfillment. But we have to recognize that freedom is not something that's automatic or guaranteed. It requires a kind of courage, a willingness to take some risks, to stand up for yourself and others. And sometimes it means facing up to some discomfort along the way to achieve the kind of freedom that we're talking about. History has examples of this. Thucydides wrote these words at a time when he was chronicling the Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta. He saw firsthand how the Athenians fought for their democratic ideals, their freedom, to govern themselves, to speak openly, and to shape their future. And it was a messy, messy time, very painful, and it required quite a lot of extraordinary courage. Well, the same holds true for us today, whether it's the courage to voice your opinions in a challenging environment, or to leave a job that may be limiting your potential, or a relationship that is holding you back, or to stand up against justice or injustice, excuse me. Freedom demands bravery, and without that bravery and courage, fear becomes a silent oppressor that chains our happiness and keeps us from the joy and fulfillment that we crave. I'm going to share a quick story about my friend Sarah. She was dreaming of starting her own business for years, but the fear kept her sort of stuck in place. Fear of failure and financial insecurity and judgment of others. She stayed at a job. It was a job that made her miserable. She was sacrificing her own happiness for the illusion, the myth of safety. After all, show me a job nowadays where the company is loyal to the employee. Employees may be loyal to the company, but it isn't often the other way around. So one day she just decided, okay, enough of this, and asked herself, what is worse? The risk of failing, the risk of having to go back and find another job, the risk of maybe um, losing some money, finding herself needing to work again, or the certainty. So that's the risk of failing or the certainty of staying unhappy in the current situation. And there are people who go an entire lifetime without taking that risk, without going and doing the thing, or asking that person out, or proposing marriage, or starting their own business. In this case, Sarah got up the courage to step out and launch her own business, and it's a coaching business, and she now feels freer and happier than she ever did before, and she's making great money because she had the courage to pursue her freedom, and the freedom is what brought her happiness. So Thucydides reminds us that freedom isn't just about removing external barriers, but also it's about overcoming those internal ones. Courage doesn't mean that you're fearless. It means that you're willing to take a step despite the fear, notwithstanding the risk. In fact, in business, risk is required for growth. Everything will stay pretty stagnant, and stagnant actually means backsliding if you don't take some calculated risks. And I often talk with my folks about my audience. I talk about you want to set yourself up so that you can be courageous, so that you can take those risks that will propel the forward motion that you crave, and grow your business, grow your podcast, grow your enterprise, whatever it is that you're doing. And one of the ways I advise is get things set up. You don't have to just leap from not being ready. You can get yourself as ready as you're going to be, and at some point you do have to just step into the courage to leap. And sometimes it's a leap of faith, absolutely. But knowing that you've got things backstopped, things set up, the legal stuff, in my case, the structures and the systems and methodologies in place, so you know that the risk is lower, so that it's a calculated risk, but it's more likely than not going to work out in your favor. That leaping despite the fear is the kind of courage that gets us freedom. Sometimes it's about investment. Sometimes it's about kicking the hatchlings out of the nest and making them fly on their own. All of these things. So today I have a challenge for you. And RJ chimes in. He says, I believe, I presume it's a he, I apologize. RJ, I believe if a person doesn't fight for freedom, freedom can be lost. Yes. As we move into a new political era here in the United States, that is an important principle to remember, is that freedom, it often isn't taken away wholesale all at once. It's the kind of thing that gets nibbled away at over time. And so we have to be vigilant. So the challenge that I want to leave you with today is ask yourself, where in my life am I not feeling free? And take some time, get yourself set up to take that leap. Figure out what it is that you will need to make sure that when you take the leap, your chances of success are as optimized as possible. But don't let yourself get stuck in constant preparation. At some point you just have to say, okay, ready, enough. Hello, Dan. Yes, Dan, leaving our comfort zone is sometimes your most difficult challenge. That is absolutely true. But our comfort zone is also our stagnant zone most of the time. So I definitely agree with you. Thank you, Dan. So the challenge is, ask yourself, where in my life am I not feeling free? And then muster the courage to change it. Because the secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom is courage, as Thucydides said. So he lived in 460 to 400 BC. He was an Athenian historian, political thinker, and a general, best known for his work, The History of the Peloponnesian War. He wrote this detailed account of the conflict between Athens and Sparta, and he was one of the very first historians to focus on rational analysis and attention to the human behavior and avoiding mythology as explanation. So he observed lots of interesting thoughts on power and politics and human nature, and these things remain relevant today. That particular quote derives from his belief in personal agency and the profound connection between freedom and moral courage. RJ agrees with Dan, blind from birth, chose to start a YouTube. That is fantastic, RJ. I love that. You don't let um, your situation hold you back. You take a leap. You move forward with the things. You have the courage to pursue the freedom, the happiness that you desire. And well, thank you for sharing that insight, RJ. I really do appreciate and respect what you're saying there. Thank you. I'm going to try to share these kinds of thoughts with you from time to time. I hope this is useful and beneficial, and you find it interesting and a little bit entertaining. And the other thing that I want to do with this daily show is give everybody an affirmation to work with during the day. So here comes today's affirmation. Affirmations are a way of sort of changing your mindset, changing your mental attitude about self and circumstances and so on. So today's affirmation is this: my creativity is a powerful tool that drives innovation and growth. And RJ, I hope this resonates for you. My creativity is a powerful tool that drives, what does it say? That drives innovation and growth. My creativity is a powerful tool that drives innovation and growth. Take this and say it to yourself. Jot it down if you need to. My creativity is a powerful tool that drives innovation and growth. Jot it down and say it a few times to yourself over the course of the day. Anytime when you have a few moments of downtime, time to reflect, it's useful to just say an affirmation like this and let it percolate into your body. Something great to do right when you first wake up in the morning, and again as you go to bed at night. A daily affirmation is going to be a part of this show, and I hope it will benefit us all. I know it helps me to meditate on these things a little bit each day. And I think that's going to be it for today. I wish you all a very, very uh, a wonderful day filled with courage and freedom and happiness and creativity, that innovation that we talk about, because that's what brings us happiness. So enjoy your day today. It's Friday, the end of the first partial week of the new calendar year, and let's take this time to set some intentions for the future, and be our best selves, live our best lives, and do our best for the world as we go into a weekend where we can, charge up those batteries a little bit, top things up, and get ready to hit the ground running on Monday. And I'll see you again Monday at 8 a.m. for another episode of Gordon in the Morning. Thank you so much for being with me today, and have a wonderful day and weekend. See you soon.